So I tend to identify myself as as being involved in embodied mysticism. So for me, just to kind of get the ground there, embodiment means of the body. So for me, mysticism is very much, mysticism is the exploration of different levels of consciousness. I kind of feel that probably most of us would agree that that's kind of what it is. And for me, this happens in an embodied way. To me, the body is consciousness. I am not a glass of water person. No, the body is a glass and the spirit is the water. No, 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 no. The body is 100% consciousness and spirit and whatever you want to call it. So the only way to actually awaken mystically is to move within into one's experience of the body in deeper and deeper subtlety. I do this in movement. I'm sure it can be done without much movement, but I think that movement is the language of the body. And this is what it does. It's not only the language of the body, it's the language of everything. It's the language of atoms, of the cosmos, of everything is moving. And so I feel that when, we are exploring movement with the eyes closed, we're opening up to our own body's movement, both as a moving entity and also to all the movements that are happening inside just for us to exist, our autonomic nervous system, the cellular motion, the, what we're constructed of, and the forces that are impinging on that. So gravity, trajectories of motion coming, we're in this continual web of physics, and all of that is, it's moving us. What would a class look like? So the class is very simple. Generally, I lead movement for a while and I close my eyes as I'm leading the movement, because what I'm trying to do is follow intuitively the flow of the movement. But I'm also a little cognizant that people are trying to follow me, so I generally repeat quite a bit. So it's not hard to follow. The movements are fairly easy. They're connected to a breathing. So the only thing a person might hear would be like inhale, exhale, inhale. I might give a couple of and then I would stop giving them verbal cue and I would just continue with the movement. And people sometimes close their eyes, and then when I'm going to change, I'll say this time and I'll shift the movement. So the purpose of all of that is to move from a stimulated exterior place in one's state of mind and to destimulate, to actually calm down, to relax. It's quite hypnotic. It gradually evolves. It's sometimes the movements are stretching, or they may not be. They may just be, circular. It's not so much the particular movements as the way in which they're unfolding, which is gradual and repetitive and hypnotic and connected to the breathing, so that over time, 15, 20 minutes, everybody has switched gears from a more fragmented mental plane, just as you would do in a sitting meditation, but you're moving, into a quieter, more relaxed internal place. And I frequently will give little cue to feel what you're doing, so that you can feel your body more. Generally speaking, when we're less tense, we do feel our bodies more. So it's a natural thing that would happen, but I sometimes mention it because there are a lot of people that are very numb, and so they are not used to feeling their body. They're just not used to it. So I mention it occasionally. And then there'll usually be a period of time following that leading period where I'll give people a movement meditation to work on, like close your eyes and move feeling whatever, just your left arm. And they can move any way they want, but they keep their attention on what's happening with that arm. That's just one. There's millions of things one could focus on, but the idea is to focus on a simple thing and try and stay with it, but at the same time, letting that thing have its own life. Then there might be a period of rest where everybody lies down, and then another period. Then this class unfolds in different ways, where they can be, before Zoom, we would always have things where you maybe get with a partner and you do lead and follow, where there'd be a big circle and one person would lead in the middle and everybody else would follow. Or, there are different things that can happen. Stand up and do a lot of movement standing, dance like. People that came to my class as belly dancers would recognize this. Oftentimes I would use Arabic music, and I still do. I use music from all different cultures, whatever is, going to support us. There is usually an intention in the course of a class to be in what I call different levels. The low level is lying down on the floor. The middle level is sitting-ish or kneeling-ish or something, and the high level is standing. But it's not always, you think, oh, when I lie down, I'm on the low level, I'm going to always be resting on the low level. But sometimes we spend a lot of time on the low level, that is lying down, moving, be lying on the floor and moving. And then we may be resting in the sitting place. You might sit in the rest, almost never standing and resting. It's more unlikely, but it's important to be what I call in three relationships to gravity, because they really use us differently, not only muscularly, but they connect to different parts of creaturely evolution on the planet. We sort of all started as snaky, fishy things, and then, came up to quadrupeds, and then eventually became bipeds. So that can often open up as a perception. So it's a long period of time where people are hearing music, their eyes are closed for a lot of it, and they are able to let themselves relax more and more deeply inside their feeling body, and what's going to happen, because things always happen when you stop preventing them from happening. So I have
surrender. Yeah.
That's right. Something will always happen. That's always a good line.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how a class would look.